Morning guys, here we are, Port Talbot dock again. This weekend there's only a few of us because there's another match being held at a place called Langdegford Reservoir, which is another bream venue, but you've got to use a boat to get to your pegs, and I didn't fancy that. So anyway, here we are again. I've drawn peg 19. There's a few of us fishing. We've got some good competition next to me. Sean Parsons, who was third last week in the festival, so he's a good angler. He's always in the main money. And I think I got Clive Branson next to me. Now I know he's going to fish the pole, but today I'm going to concentrate a little bit on the feeder, because I think that's where I messed up a little bit on the festival. I alternated between the pole and the feeder, and really it was a feeder match over the 2 days. Something that you know, I should have concentrated on. But there you are. It's all good fun. Big bream to be caught. I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try a few different methods today. I'm going to obviously ball it in close, but I'm not going to ball it in on the outside. I'm going to just top it up with a feeder and see how it goes. Take it a little bit steady, I think. It's a 6-hour match, so there's plenty of time to build a swim up. Usually takes an hour or two for the fish to respond anyway. So hopefully I'll catch you as I start, and hopefully in the middle of the match. Trying to explain a little bit what I'm doing as well. One of my readers has said, why don't I try and explain a little bit what I'm doing, so I'll try and do that if I can. Alright, see you later. Okay, the match, I'm a bit early today, which is a good thing, because when you're fishing just the feeder, it doesn't take long to set up. So I'm just going to have a look at this section of anglers. Now this is peg 16. This is a prominent peg. I think I might have mentioned before. It actually was third in the Welsh National off this one. And my God, I can't believe it. It's deja vu. It's Stevie Gardner again. I know. Last time I come here, and I was videoing, you were on this peg. Eh? Well, exactly. And it's nice to see you got the pole up this time. Last time I don't think you had it set up. So there we are. It's nice and deep there. There's a lot of fish around that area. Yeah. All right. Well, that's the Welsh Stevie Gardner. Right. All right. All the best, Steve. Right. That's peg 16. So that's on the promenade. It's a very good peg, deep inside. Plenty of roach. Hello, mate. We got Steve. Hello, how are you doing, bud?
I'm alright.
So what do you fancy your peg then?
Well, I'm going to have a look.
Yeah.
On the little shelf to the left.
Yeah.
Those stanchions there on the left.
Right.
And I'm going to fish just this a metre or so beyond.
Right. Let me tell you, everyone gets put off with this because of those what they call extensions coming up through the water. Yeah. Where the old pier used to be, but there's a lot of fish on the inside.
Yeah, that's why I'm fishing there. So
yeah.
To the left, on the left one there.
It's snaggy, mind. You might lose a few feeders and that, but there's a lot of fish there.
I'm about 12 inches off the bottom, I think, and then
yeah. All right. That's on the whip, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The rest, I got one line out there.
Oh, this is the new Cadence whip as well, boys.
Yes, it is.
This is the one that Jamie Robinson was down here last week on the festival showing us. So
first time out.
First time out.
So I'll find out what it's like.
We will find out what it's like today.
I got another whip there if I don't like it.
Oh, there you are then. Well,
I think it'll be fine.
You'll have to give us 3 reports afterwards on it.
No problem. If I catch something, I will.
There you are. He's all set up, nice and comfortable. Fair dues. Oh, one good thing about Steve. Right, let's go and have a look at my mate Sean now, next peg. He's the one to beat. Okay, now we're coming up to the peg 18. Now this is another peg. This is on the other side of the Steve. They're pretty close pegging, but it doesn't really matter. No, here's the boy. What's his secret? Bloody hell, look at the size of those balls. Bloody hell. I know you've always boasted you've got good balls, but you got his little tent there with his little dead maggots, his live maggots, corn, wormy. Now he says he don't chop worms up, but I think he tells fibs.
How heavy my balls are.
Yeah, we're going to feel how heavy they are now. Bloody hell, Sean. Fair dues. Don't get many of them to a pound.
My missus says.
That's what your missus says. Oh, well, there you are. So this is, well, you know, Mr. Census, they call him, the Mr. Welsh Census. Everything's green. Green for go. And there's me next peg. So it should be an interesting battle between us.
Well, we'll have a go.
Yeah, well, you
have got the better peg.
No excuses already.
In my defence.
Oh, you're the best. All right, then. Make excuses now. My excuse is that you're going to bombard me with all that ground.
We've got peg 17, which is a cracking peg.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people don't like it, puts them off.
Yeah, I'm just saying now, but the fish are close in there, on those extensions. Yeah.
But for some reason, people got to fish the wind.
Yeah, well, I don't. It's all roach in it, you know. But you're just an out-and-out feeder, man. Just 2 feeders up.
Well, down here, it's
yeah.
You know, the bream will always beat the roach, except for in the winter.
Yeah, that's right. When the roach move in abundance.
Winter,
yeah.
The roach are here, and you know, I mean, 61 pounds at match record.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, roach. Yeah.
Not a bream in sight.
Yeah. So yeah, different times of year, different species of fish is the target.
The water is very warm.
Yeah, it is warm. Is it salty as well? You haven't tasted it, eh? You don't like that? It won't harm you, just taste it.
Live for the rest of the year.
It won't harm you. just taste it, spit it back out.
Yeah, it's very warm.
Very warm. Well, this is a bad thing because the oxygen level then goes out of the water. Yeah.
No, I mean, we'll soon see.
We'll soon see. Yeah. All right, buddy. I'll see you in a bit. Okay. Just going up to see Clive now. All right, Clive. You fancy it? Yeah. Favourite peg. He set up his loads of whips. One of the better pole anglers on this venue. Always does well. Well, we were talking, me and Sean, the winter's the best time, isn't it, really, for the roach. But now and again, the bream do come in on it. I know on the next peg, Ian Driscoll had £61 off that on the pole, so you never know. All right then, well, this is the end peg. This is the favourite one. Now, when I say favourite, it's a favourite for the bream. He's got his feeder set up. Let's have a look. Now, this part of the dock actually starts to shallow up a little bit and goes round like a dog arm. This is where I had a couple of weights previously, just round there. So this being the end peg's got to be one of the favourites. Yeah, do you fancy it?
What's that now?
Do you fancy it? Well, I was saying, I think it was Ian Driscoll or Sean had 60 odd pound or 65 pound. Sean did, and Ian Driscoll was on that one. They were close together, and they both had 60 odd pound on the pole. So you never know.
Well, they got a bit of a Clive special in the van, so I'm gonna go and get it.
Oh yeah, you next to me last time, and I'm afraid I sort of I outgunned him a little bit because I put a load of bread in. Let's have a look what he's got in his van. Oh, he's done it. He learned it off me, fair dues.
All the best.
Well done, buddy. Anyway, all the best. Yeah, I see people now listen to me, or they do try and learn off me anyway. Because that's a killer method, that mashed bread. Brings all the mullet in and bream and everything. But I say I'm not fishing the bowl today, I'll be fishing the feeders. I want a nice comfortable day today. Okay, here's my peg, sponsored by Zebco. No, it's a cheap umbrella I managed to acquire. It's only a small umbrella, but it keeps me dry when it's raining. Right, here's my balls. Not as big as Sean's, but I'm hoping it's going to be adequate. Right, just go through a few of my bait here. Obviously, I got my maggots, floating maggots, and after an hour or two there'll be a few dead ones in amongst that. I've mixed dead ones already in with the ground bait and some corn. There's my mix, which I've sieved off. That's going through the feeder, and there's the casters, and there's more maggots. What I'd like to do, I like to fill up the feeder depending on how the fish are feeding. If they're feeding in abundance, then maybe I'll add a bit more feed in. Otherwise, it'll be just a little pinch of maggots and casters and a little bit of corn and some chopworm later on. Yeah, I use a chopworm for later because I don't want to get the fish too engrossed in eating worm at the beginning. But later on, it comes into its own. Okay, it's all in. Sean is just putting his balls in. Yeah, all in, all in. Right, I'm just going to leave it a minute, let him do it first. I'm just going to quickly go through a couple of little things. This is a little stopwatch I just learned, little thing. This just gone 10 o'clock now. Ideal for timing yourself for casts, in between casts and catching fish. Nice little handy tool. These sunglasses, they're bifocal. If you look carefully underneath, you've got little sort of magnifying glass. Ideal obviously in the summer. These you can buy off the website, £24.95. These particular pair did cost me £100, but I managed to source them a lot cheaper now. Same with the stopwatch, I do them for £5.95 stopwatch. And also quickly show you my hooks to nylon, which I've already set up. So in case I need to change a quick change of hook, in case I lose one. Okay, let's carry on. I better start. Now they've thrown their bait in, I'm going to follow suit. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do for the first couple of minutes, I'm casting out at about a 40 meter range. I clipped it up, so the idea is when I clip it up, as the feeder falls back towards me, I'm actually fishing probably about 30 meters. So what I do, I put the feeder, I put a bit of ground bait in, a bit of maggots, some corn, some casters. Yeah, so that's ready. Now I'm going to put at least a dozen of these in on that line. So just bear with me. Okay, I've just cast now. The feed just dropped. I counted 17 seconds. So that's telling me it's probably at least 17 foot, if not a little bit more. I've got a 35 gram feeder on, using double maggots, dead ones, and floaters, and also only a short hook length of about 8 inches. Now, that's settled now, so I'm just going to drag it slightly. Right, that's releasing some of the bait in that area. So I'll just give it a second in case I get a bite. You never know, you might get a bite early on, but usually it takes a while. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to retrieve this and repeat myself, and as I say, I'll do that about 10 times before I settle down. On the drop. Okay, the match is into the first half hour. I've had one skimmer. Now Sean's next to me, he's had 2 roach and a skimmer. The other guy on the pole, I noticed, he's had couple of roach. Yeah, so anyway, so keep at it. What I do is I keep twitching, because sometimes that produces a fish. Well, the rain's starting to come down. Sean's put his umbrella up. I might have to put mine back up in a minute. As I say, it's the forecast is clearing a little bit later, hopefully. It's not a downpour at the moment, so it's enough to get you wet. Okay, the match is into its first hour. I'm having a little bit of a battering at the moment off of Sean. I noticed he's fishing a worm, and he is getting a couple more skimmers, and he just had an eel. He's getting a couple more than me, so I might have to revert back to. I might have to revert to worm myself. I've been fishing doubles, singles, and treble maggots at the moment. I just tried the caster, no bites on that, so I'll chop up a little bit of worm and pass that through the feeder and try some worm, I think. Okay, it's hour and a half into the match now. I come on the inside, didn't have much on the worm, I didn't have a bite on the worm, and I just picked up a couple of roach and a little perch on the inside, just sort of down before it starts to even out, you know, the depth, which is probably about 18 meters out. Well, look at that skyline there, look. All the pollution from the seal. Okay, the match is over. It's been a bit of a struggle, but I did pick up a couple of bream. So the other boys have done. We'll do the weigh-in now anyway. I had a couple of bream. Okay, match over now. As I said, it was the winds picked up quite bad. The rain, we had rain. Oh, we've had all the elements today. As I said, it hasn't fished particularly well, although, you know, we caught fish on and off, and I had a couple of bream, a couple of roach. Don't know what weight I got. I think I beaten Sean, I think, next peg anyway. He did get a load of eels. As I say, Sean's been doing exceptionally well on you lately, so I think Clive has done quite well as well. I gave him some of my ground bait, my special fish meal analysis ground bait, and I'm sure he's done okay on it. So we'll have to go and see now. If fed in his cap if he's run it, using my ground bait. Anyway, let's go and do the weigh-in now and we'll see how we get on. You're crazy fishing a bloody pole in this bloody wind.
To be honest, it is though.
Yeah.
I had a tension bream. I don't know where we go. I just climbed up. Just blew up. That was the end of it.
You got a tench of you and a bream. Oh, well.
Yeah. That was the end of it. Right. It comes straight there off the sea.
Wait 20 minutes off over another bite, you know what I mean? No, I couldn't get fuck all the arm, I switched good condition.
Yeah, nice skimmers.
Yeah, mostly skimming. That's 3 or 4 roaches, all the rest is skimming. There we are.
No big bream, no?
Starting out with the bream, that's right. The plan in there, you know, that's what I can do here, really.
£9.12.
There we are, happy with it.
Okay, there we are then. So that was 22.4. Second, Clive done me's at 26, fair dues, and Sean's at 18. And all the others have just about done doubles, I think. So anyway, considering the conditions have been quite rough, you know, we've had a good day. We've all caught some fish, so there you are. Hope you like the vlog. See you next time, probably on the river, hopefully, because I did say I wasn't going to fish this again till the season opened, but it was a spare Sunday, nothing to do, so that's where we run a little match down here. And if you fancy coming down here one day, either give me a message or phone Di, the owner. He'd be more than happy to let you fish it. Only £5 a day. Fantastic. Okay, all the best.